Hey everyone, welcome to Mind Your Health podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Connie Chung. Today, I want to talk to you guys about the impact of minor repetitive injuries that might be annoying that can develop into a chronic inflammatory systemic condition that can actually get in the way of you reaching your ideal weight. So episode is for those of you who nurture aches and pains and you just shrug them off as something minor right now, and you're struggling with gut issues and having difficulty losing weight. I want to pull everything together. For some of you that don't know, I have a background in psychology. I have my master's in nutrition. I'm a registered dietitian, and I hold a doctorate in physical therapy. I have over 2 decades of working with patients in a rehabilitative setting physically to get patients from debilitated state physically, functionally, into the optimal performance state of being. So I just want to mention that as a physical therapist for over 2 decades, I am certainly used to seeing patients with little minor to severe injuries that can cause severe disruptions in their lives. And usually physical therapy is the first line of defense for this. But the trend over the 2 decades is interesting. It's that I've observed that there's an increasing number of patients who actually nurture their minor injuries and aches into major systemic issues that has them wondering, what the hell happened? What caused it, Dr. Connie, is the question I would always get. And I can almost always tell you that it wasn't just that one thing, right? As they say, the last straw that broke the camel's back, right, isn't the last straw. It's the countless amount of assaults and injuries that happened prior to that last straw, which means which actually means the final irritation or problem that stretches one's endurance or patience beyond their limit is what it means by the idiom, the last straw. So repetitive injuries from poor body awareness and posture are just like that. Most of the patients I've treated over my career as a physical therapist were due to improper body alignment and poor muscular activation, simply due to lack of body awareness. And in the last decade, I witnessed an increasing number of patients with minor injuries that were nurtured and perpetuated without them knowing that could have been prevented all along with a simple strategy, like being aware of your proper posture and activating the right muscles. And I'm willing to guess that it's even worse after the pandemic. It's essential to bring attention to this because we all tend to push along, living our lives without awareness until the body breaks down, which leaves us wondering, what the heck happened? And we get frustrated. But it's years of poor posture and lack of body awareness, our sedentary lifestyle, poor muscular activation, and over time, this minor inflammation becomes major when it becomes systemic. Repetitive injuries can lead to systemic inflammation. You have to remember this, contributing to difficulty losing weight. And inflammation in the body really is the body's natural response to injury. But chronic inflammation causes imbalances that you're unaware of. And in fact, we never connect the dots because we have a very broken down fragmented medical system where you go to the doctor for insulin resistance, you go to the gut doctor for digestive issues, you go to an orthopedic surgeon for your body aches and pains and different injuries to the joints. You get my point, right? And so we're used to sort of compartmentalizing, but you have to understand that chronic inflammation, it causes imbalances to affect your hormones. And it's not the endocrinologist who can tie the connection between your imbalances of your hormones and the systemic inflammation that resulted from like a forward head posture that created imbalances or inflammation in your thoracic spine to affect your low back and to cause herniation there, to cause radiculopathy. And then you're going to so many doctors and pain control and all the things. Because remember, orthopedic doctors might give you surgery, but then you have to go to chronic inflammatory patients have to go to pain management for narcotics that are sort of managed. Your pain is managed through medications like for life. And that's also what I've seen as a physical therapist, right? And so this little nurtured minor injury can become a systemic inflammation to affect your metabolic and detoxification processes, which ultimately regulate your weight. So if you're left wondering what's going on, you just don't feel good, your mind, your body, your emotions, and your systemic inflammation, your gut, your immune system, and your musculoskeletal system with all your detox organs, they're not synergistically aligned right now. For example, inflammation can cause increase in insulin resistance. That leads to higher insulin levels because it's resistant to that insulin. And insulin is the most inflammatory hormone. It's a decrease in cells' ability to use glucose for your energy, so you're going to get fatigued, resulting in what? Fat storage, because you don't have energy, so you don't want to move, right? And additionally, inflammation can alter the gut microbiome and affect digestion, further impacting your weight loss efforts. So never mind that healthy diet that you're stressing yourself to follow, right? This is why treating and managing the underlying cause of inflammation is important for promoting healthy weight and management. When a person experiences a repetitive injury like shoulder strain, hip pain, for example, the body's natural response is to initiate an inflammatory process to begin the healing process. That's natural. The immune system sends immune cells to the affected area to remove any damaged tissues and to promote healing. This process is typically limited to the affected area, and it is intended to resolve once the healing is complete. But when that healing is not complete and that affected area keeps getting this repetitive strikes, that's what happens. That's what repetitive injury is. The inflammation may become chronic and it starts to spread to other parts of the body. This is because our immune cells produce what's called cytokine signaling molecules that can trigger a systemic inflammatory response. This is why autoimmune patients have chronic pain, right? It's the inflammation. The cytokines, which are body's inflammatory chemicals, travel through the bloodstream and stimulate the production of more cytokines in other body parts, leading to widespread inflammation. And chronic systemic inflammation has been linked to various health issues, including weight gain. And inflammation can disrupt the normal functioning of your hormones and metabolic processes that regulate your weight. For example, as I said before, it can increase that insulin resistance, leading to higher insulin levels, which is inflammatory, and decreased ability of your body's cells to use glucose for that energy. And then you get fatigued, which leads to fat storage. And the fat cells that are in your storage now further contribute to hormonal dysregulation. And inflammation can also alter the gut microbiome, leading to the leaky gut, food sensitivity, which plays a crucial role in weight regulation by affecting digestion and the absorption of nutrients, not to mention all the gut issues you may struggle with. So repetitive injuries can lead to systemic inflammation by releasing inflammatory cytokines, body's chemicals that stimulate a widespread inflammatory response. It's in your best interest to nip this in the bud. This can impact weight management, like I said, by disrupting your normal functioning of your hormones, metabolic processes, insulin, all leading to weight gain. This is a perfect illustration of the fact that diet alone isn't the problem, especially for those of you struggling with weight gain and gut issues. It affects your mental state, it affects your emotions, it affects you at the every level of your body. Everything in our body is connected, y'all. And as all our detox organs, they need to work synergistically, not separated. It needs to work synergistically together to optimize our health. So what can you do about repetitive injury? Well, to manage and treat a repetitive injury, I want to recommend the following steps, which may be very logical and simple. So I want you guys to start paying attention. Sometimes when you are heated and you feel sick and not well enough, just simply rest. Give the affected area time to heal by reducing and avoiding the activities that cause pain. And because I see a lot of yogis coming to the yoga area, sometimes we just need a yin. Sometimes we need a gentle cycle, not the let's go burn some calories type of a mode, because that can actually be catabolic, can actually break down your muscles, not anabolic, which is the building of the muscle, right? Second is ice compression. I apply ice to the affected area to reduce pain and swelling. And then you want to compress it, wear a compression bandage or wrap to help reduce swelling. I do both. I like to wrap ice and compress it, wear a compression bandage with the ice on it. And then elevation. I want you to elevate the affected area above the heart to help to reduce swelling. Physical therapy. As physical therapists, we can help to develop a specific exercise program and treat that area specifically to reduce your inflammation and to help you to regain strength and flexibility in the affected area. We can also help you to prevent injuries in the future by aligning your body and helping you to improve your overall posture by activating the right muscles. Bring body awareness back to the physical body. That's in essence what physical therapists do. And then there's medication. Sometimes we need a little bit strong over-the-counter pain relievers like ibuprofen, which is anti-inflammatory. I would gather or I would add a therapeutic dose of very potent form of omegas or fish oil to have that anti-inflammatory effect. Next is get a good massage, because massage can help increase blood flow and reduce the overall pain and tension in the affected area. And sometimes as a physical therapist, when the damage is gotten too much and you keep finding yourself not being able to go back after weeks of rest, compression, physical therapy, surgery may be necessary to repair the damage. Sometimes it's just a simple arthroscopic surgery that can avoid replacements like shoulder replacements, knee replacements, and hip replacements down the line. So some of the preventative measures are implementing proper posture and techniques when performing activities like yoga, or exercises to not load your joints. A lot of CrossFitters and a lot of loading, go, muscle up, that can actually work against you. So be smart about reducing the risk of repetitive injuries by paying attention. And the next is simply have awareness. Be aware of your body and space and always be mindful of your body and what it's telling you. And that's why I love yoga, the connection to the breath, because that's what it facilitates, right? Yoga is your opportunity for growth and awareness through physical movement. So, how do you prevent injury specifically? Well, here are some specific preventative measures for repetitive injury. Number one, simple, proper techniques and posture. You want to ensure that you use proper technique and posture when performing and physical activity to reduce the risk of injury, like performing yoga poses, or if you're at work and you need to lift some things, proper body mechanics and lifting mechanisms are helpful. Being aware of keeping your body straight and understanding that compensation or imbalances in the left and the right side of the body or twisting with the load in your hand is not helpful. So there are things that you want to be mindful of. Second is stretching to increase mobility and warm up prior to your work, physical activity. Stretching and do warm up exercises before engaging in physical activities to actually help prepare your muscles and joints for that activity. So there's preparation for what you're doing. Sort of you're kind of summoning your muscular body to say, hey, gather up, let's go, right? Next is doing strengthening exercises, smart strengthening exercises into your routine to help support your muscles and joints to reduce the overall risk of injury. And second, the next one is adequate rest and recovery, you guys. Allow your body to rest and recover by taking breaks during the prolonged periods of physical activity. Really listen to your body, and getting adequate sleep helps. Create an ergonomic workspace. A lot of people think, oh, I don't do any physical activity. Well, computer work alone can cause a lot of repetitive injuries, carpal tunnel. It can be neck issues, radiculopathy, right? And so these are all things you can prevent by having a workspace designed for proper posture, right? There's keyboards and everything else to reduce the risk of injury from repetitive motions. And I want you to engage in regular physical activity. Regular physical activity can actually help you to maintain strength and flexibility, and make sure that you keep your strength, mobility, stability in your muscles. And if you do regular exercises and do yoga or hard stuff, right? You want to modify activities. Consider modifying. It's not a weakness to modify. It's being smart. And avoid activities that put repetitive stress on a particular joint or muscle group. Working with a physical therapist can help you. If you are interested in doing a virtual physical assessment with me, I'm always open for that. So I just want to throw that out there. And then also sometimes using assistive device helps. Consider using assistive device such as braces or splints to support the affected area. But I want you to be very smart about it. Don't do it all the time because that prevents your muscles from healing. So you want to be very particular about using them. But if you're going to go for a long walk or you can't prevent yourself doing something, then you want to protect that area by bracing up and then get it off as soon as you come home to relieve that area as well as to activate those muscles. Because otherwise, splints and braces can actually weaken those muscles. So you have to use it strategically. Overall, stay mindful and aware of your body and space. And this requires an active mind-body connection so that you can gain body awareness. And that comes from yoga, you guys. What can I say? I'm a big advocate of the practice of yoga because it gives you strength, flexibility, body-mind awareness, calmness, rest, and all the things, and the connection to your breath. More importantly, it's all about the four things. It's all about application of this knowledge in your life, integrating all this into your body and getting proper coach like myself to nudge you in the right direction and to reveal things you don't see in yourself. And lastly, this is most important, building a community that uplifts and supports and holds you accountable. And that's what we're creating here. I've had to walk a long walk by myself without community to support me, especially for what I wanted to accomplish. It's been a very fragmented journey, is why I do the work I do. So you want to learn more and be tuned into this community of like-minded individuals who are always uplifting you. I'm here to certainly do that for you. Follow for more at Dr. Connie Chung. You can find me at Instagram, Mind Your Health Podcast on everywhere that podcasts are played, as well as YouTube channel. I have all the yoga videos there too. And if you put requests in, message me under this in my podcast, wherever you can find me, direct DM me on Instagram. I will put forth everything that you need out there on YouTube, as well as Insta, as well as my podcast. I use this to really help you to push you along to create the ultimate self-health care system within, because nothing happens until you change. Thank you so much for listening, and it's been my joy, and I hope you guys have a great week.